Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about We Love You Bunny by Mona Awad. I have finally finished this book, you guys. It is actually a longer book. I did get this from NetGalley, so thank you NetGalley for my e-copy. It is out now though, you guys. It's been out. I'm very late in getting my review out, but I did get it out in time. It is 477 pages. And girl, it did not need to be this long. We will get to that, but it was too long. It was too long, okay? This could have been edited. It's definitely been blurbed. Okay, oh, this is praise for Mona Awad, not for the book. Because, first of all, people hate this cover. Did y'all know that? People absolutely hate this cover. I like the cover. I think that it is very much true to the book. The mask itself and then the flower. It's like, it has a lot to do with the book itself. But people hate the cover. I don't know. I thought it was kind of a genius cover. So says Margaret Atwood. Oh, Bunny, you are so genius. I have a lot of thoughts about this book. It's not getting the best reviews. I think one, because it's too long. It was definitely too long. It got very... repetitive is not the right word. It was like too much filler. I don't know. Maybe too many POVs, too many side characters that didn't need to be included. If you haven't read Bunny, I do have a review video. It's pretty old, but it's from is it last year or this year? I can't remember. I can link it down below though if you'd like to watch it. I do think you have to read Bunny to read this. Some people are saying you don't. I think you need to read Bunny in order to know what the heck is going on. Although this book is all about how the bunnies started their little bunny cult. So it does take you through all of that. But it's also talking about characters from Bunny. So technically you maybe wouldn't have to read Bunny, but I think you're going to be a bit confused if you don't. So if you don't know what Bunny is about, it is about our main character, Samantha, who's in this writing program at her school. And there's only like 6 people in it. Samantha and then the bunnies. And she's having quite a hard time dealing with school and like writing her thesis. And the bunnies just aggravate her so much because they're just these like little cupcake cult girls who call each other Bunny. And she gets invited to one of their like writing nights and realizes what they're really up to, which is way more than she realized. And this certainly answered a lot of questions that I had from the first one, but did I want those questions answered? Books and Lala, which I can link this video down below if I can remember, reviewed this in one of her videos recently, and I saw that she read it and reviewed it a few weeks ago, and I wanted to wait to watch it until I finished the book because I didn't want spoilers or anything. So I watched it yesterday, and her feelings were very similar to how I felt. She only gave the book 2 stars, and Bunny is like her favorite book of all time. And she said a lot of really great things in her review. So I would encourage you guys to go watch her review as well. She read a lot of different books in that video, but she has timestamps, so it's easy to find. But I think my biggest thing about this is, and a point that she made too, was, did we want to see what was like behind the curtain? Did we really need to see every POV from every bunny? Did we need to see like behind the scenes about how their little cult was made up? did I need to see the bunnies humanized? Because in Bunny, we saw them almost as like these otherworldly things and not like human-like, almost like these perfect, you know, otherworldly creatures. And this book really made them so almost too human and too imperfect. And like I said, really drew the curtain back and you saw everything. And in some ways, I'm just like, do I want to see that? Do I want to know what's going on behind the scenes? And then, so you're getting part one, you're getting everyone's perspective and every point of view from every bunny. And I wonder if I can find, so like this chapter is from the Duchess point of view. And then we have, oh shoot. I'm going to find it. Basically, you're just getting every point of view from every bunny, but then you're also getting, I will get into spoilers in a second. Oh, okay, that's a spoiler. I'm going to get into spoilers in a second, so I'm not going to go in like every chapter by chapter like I do sometimes with my books, but, okay, why is it just the Duchess? There's a vignette. So it goes in chapter, or, you know, part one, part two, but then it goes bunny by bunny, gets to tell their side of the story and how they came together and how to be. And when we're reading, and this is before they met Samantha and had Samantha like join them. So it's basically a prequel, I guess, to Bunny. But how this takes place, I wonder how much. So, okay, it does say that. So how this book starts is they have basically, Samantha has written her first novel. I think it's titled Bunny, all about her experience with the bunnies. And the bunnies didn't take too kindly to that. And they have kidnapped her, basically, bound and gagged her in the attic, the infamous attic, and have held her hostage. They have an axe at her, and they're going through their story. And they're like, we've read your book. You got to tell your side of the story. Now you get to hear our side and how it really went. So they are going through their side of the story and how it really went. The bunnies take turns recounting the birth of their unholy alliance, their discovery of their unusual creative powers, and the phantasmagoric adventure of conjuring their first creation. That's important. Their first creation. So if you don't know about what happens, about what they do in their little cult, is they're basically taking bunnies, the animal bunnies, and creating bunny boys, men, with them. It's all a little strange. This is like dark academia, magical realism, surrealism. It's very pretentious, but like it knows that it's pretentious. It's not taking itself too seriously, if that makes sense. There's like the fictions, they're in the fiction group, but then there's the poets who are very, very pretentious and very like, I'm gonna say stereotypical. I don't mean to offend anyone when I say that, but I hope you know what I mean. So you get the bunny's point of view, and then you get their first creation's point of view. I don't know, Arius, that's how you pronounce it. And they name him that after an allergy medication. They're just trying to like on the fly give him a name. So Arius chapters were by far my favorite. And he is writing to, I don't know if you can read that, dear reader. And he writes with he punctuates with little smiley or frowny faces, which I heard Books and Lala, she said that in the audiobook was awful because every time there was a smiley or frowny face, it would say smiley face, frowny face. How annoying would that be? But anyway, I loved his chapters so much. It was very Frankenstein-esque. It's like Frankenstein meets Heathers. Very Frankenstein-esque though, which I loved. His chapters were very like redeeming for me. I honestly didn't care for the bunny. Like, I shouldn't say that I didn't care for them. They had their like good points. But after a while, it was like, okay, get to what you're getting to. It was a lot. But I loved his chapters because it was this thing, this creation that was out in the world and not knowing what was what. And they did, of course, like keep him hostage and trying to teach him things and blah, blah, blah. And then this is all spoilers, so I'm just letting you know. We're at the spoiler part now. He does eventually escape. And at one point, the bunnies said something about how they wanted to kill Alan, which is their teacher, their fiction teacher, because he has done nothing but basically, what's the right word? He basically eviscerates them when it comes to their writing, and they hate him. And also because he fancies Samantha, because they're like, you know. So Arius gets it in his brain. That's kind of all he thinks of is kill Alan, kill Alan, kill Alan. And he escapes with the axe, and that's kind of all he thinks of then is kill Alan. And you would be surprised at how often the phrase or the name Alan comes up. And it doesn't end well for these people. But this, I think it was another redeeming factor in the book about what happens if Arius does in fact try to kill someone that he thinks is Alan. I won't give that part away. If he does in fact kill someone. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. But that was a really interesting, I think there was some really interesting parts of this book. I just think it was too long. I was just like, okay. I think because it was too long and there were too many little like side quests and characters, I wasn't as into it as I wanted to be. And I think it could have been really great. And I could have just read about Arius and his like journey more than the bunny's point of view, I guess. I really loved Arius's point of view. And then it got into their teacher, Mother, is her name Ursula, which was interesting, I guess. I understood where they were going with that. And, but I didn't really care about that either. So there were just a few plot points where I just wasn't that interested in it. And like a Books and Lala said, I'm blanking on what her actual name is. Kayla. Her name's Kayla. She's like, I don't know if this book just needed to be written. And she said, I think Mona thought that it had to be written, and it's something that she really wanted to write. But Kayla said, for me, I'm not sure I needed to read it, and I don't think that it was for me, if that makes sense. I think Mona really wanted to write it, and it was important to her, and the story was important to her, but to Kayla, it wasn't important to read. Which I get that. I understand that. And guess who else is in it? Spoiler alert, Jonah, who, if you know from the first book, we were all wondering if he was just a figment of Samantha's imagination. We were wondering if all of this was a figment of Samantha's imagination. And I would like to know what you thought of the very last sentence, like the last page of this book, because I had to go online and say, please explain to me how this book ended because I was very confused, and maybe we'll talk about it, but just as I was confused about the last page of Bunny too. So Jonah is real, I guess, and everyone's just in love with Jonah. And you know who Jonah reminded me of, and I don't know why, but the character in Coraline, the neighbor, what is his name? What's his name? I can't think of his name. I'll put a picture of him. I don't know why he reminded me of him. Why did he remind me of him? But I love Jonah so much. The character of Jonah. Do you guys love him as much as I do? I loved Jonah. And Jonah and Arius basically, these are all spoilers again. I'm going to keep reiterating that. Arius basically falls in love with Jonah. So the bunnies are so infatuated with Jonah because they basically came from them, you know. They're his creators. They're so infatuated with him, but not really in a loving way, in a obsessive ownership kind of way, okay? And Arius just loves Jonah so much. And that whole relationship throughout the book is so heartbreaking and beautiful as well. Like those parts of the story I loved so much, and that made me want to keep reading it. So there was plot lines like that I loved and made me want to keep reading it. I loved when Arius and Jonah were interacting together. Their conversations were so like beautiful. And sometimes Arius could ramble on, but again, I was like, he's like new to the world. He's figuring out the world. He's just kind of rambly, you know? So I have such a hard time with this book because it's like I enjoyed it and then I didn't, but I did. I don't know. I guess I feel like Kayla, like, did this have to be written? But yeah, I see why Mona wanted to, and I did enjoy it. I did enjoy reading this, but absolutely nowhere near as much as I enjoyed reading Bunny. And another thing Kayla said is, I think why I loved Bunny so much is I loved reading from the perspective of Samantha. And I agree. Sam was not in this book. She was bound and gagged the whole time. We didn't hear from her really at all. I mean, at the very end, kind of. We didn't really hear from her. And I think she was such a big reason why she said why she loved the first book so much. So I agree with that as well. She was such a great main character and brought such a strong voice to the book. So I agree with that as well. Go watch her video. I think she did a great job explaining things. I'm not great at explaining, but I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. So yeah, I think this book did a lot of good things, but a lot of not so great things as well. And it was too long. There was some plot lines that I just think we could have just done without them. A few side characters and things like I just think didn't need to be there. After a while, the bunnies do get a little bit, for lack of a better word, annoying, but that is what it is, I think. And I think in the first book, they were so like mysterious and intriguing. And in this book, you know them. You're getting such a deep dive and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, they are so different than what I was expecting. Like they're humanized and they're so flawed and they're so, they're just so deeply flawed and so deeply human and going through so much. I liked the nod to like things like Coraline in this book. Yeah, there were certain things about the bunnies that I did like, their different personalities and stuff too. But wow, Mona really did take all the mystery away from them, you know? And again, it's like, do I like that? Or did I really like when they were much more of this like mysterious culty group that I didn't know much about in the first book? So I don't know. This book is definitely getting dragged a bit. I will say that, which is kind of a bummer, but I understand it too. I liked like the different rules about going back to the other land or whatever Arius you would call it. I did like that. I'm trying not to give like all the spoilers away, but again, that's very Frankenstein-esque too, just like wanting a companion, wanting someone to share your life with, your loneliness with. And I won't say any more about that, but yeah. Heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. I just watched the new Frankenstein too, so I'm seeing so many different, like I'm seeing so many similarities as well. Go watch the new Frankenstein. I loved it. It was so good. But yeah, so there are things that I really enjoyed about this, and I loved Arius a lot. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But anyway, and then the last page, what do y'all think about that? I literally had to Google it because I was like, wait, what? I'm so confused. This is going to be a huge spoiler, okay? Huge spoiler. The bunnies basically say, we'll let you go, Sam, if you tell your editor to, look at our book, recommend our book, publish our book, whatever, okay? And Samantha's like, yes, girls, yes. And the bunnies are like, oh my gosh, okay. And they let her go. Should I read the last page, or I'm just gonna, because they have a book, and she steals the book from them, and she jumps out the window, just like Arius did, thinking that he was gonna die. He didn't die, because he's a bunny boy. And guess who else didn't die? Samantha. Because is she a bunny girl? Is she also conjured up? Is she not real? I'm so confused. Did she turn into a bunny at the end? Or that's what I read, and that's how I read it. Please help. Explain this to me like I'm 5. Because it says, small and furry, looking up at us with large shining eyes. And then it says, in the wind, another sound, a crunching foot. You bunny, slinking out of the shadows, now in a long black coat. So that would be Samantha. So who's the bunny? That's why I'm confused. I understand if it was like the bunny. You dashed toward the little rabbit in the grass. Thank God. So maybe they didn't have Samantha at all? Maybe they had someone else? Now I'm even more confused. We see you, don't we? Finally, for real, right there. That fire and fear in your eyes that never left. Smiling just like a fiction, just like a rabbit in the wildly blushing dawn. Oh, now I'm even more confused. I didn't really realize that. Okay, so it was a bunny and Samantha. So who do you think that they had in the attic? Please, I really need to know what y'all think, because now I'm really confused. I'm so confused. I need to... You guys, I was online, I was on Reddit, I was everywhere trying to figure out that ending, and no one really had an answer. I, like, the AI, you know how when you Google something, it gives you, like, the AI answer? And all it said was that she turned into a bunny, but, okay, yeah, there's a bunny, but then there's also a person there in the trench coat, which would be Samantha. So, who do you think they had in the attic that whole time, if it wasn't Samantha? Or was the other person not Samantha, and was it someone else? Okay, sound off down below, please. Please explain the ending to me. I was trying to find interviews with Mona to see if she explained the ending, and the one that I found, she did not. So please help, because now I'm really confused. I also heard that she's gonna write a 3rd bunny novel. Mona, we don't need it. I don't think we need it. I think this is good, unless it's all about Arius, which I think I would read. I think I would read that, or Jonah. Yes, I would read that. I would read that. Or Samantha. I think I would read more Samantha. Like, after this one, continue. I think I would. So, just kidding. I would read it. I think I'm done with the bunnies themselves, though. I think that ship has sailed. I don't think we need to. I think they're a lost cause. I don't think we need any more about the bunnies. What do you guys think? Would you read another bunny book? Or do you think that we need to be done with the bunnies? I would love to hear what you think about that as well. Yeah, I think that's all that I'm going to say about this. I think there is a lot to unpack here, and I did leave a lot out because I do think it's an interesting book, and I didn't want to spoil everything, even though I did give some big spoilers, so I apologize, but I tried to give you warning. And honestly, there's still so much in here that I left out, and you can make your own assumptions for yourself. But if you have read We Love You, Bunny, I would love to hear what your opinion is. Maybe you loved it more than Bunny? Hey, you never know. I think I give Bunny 4 stars, and I'm giving this one a 3.5 star. That could change, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. I was not blown away, but there were certain parts that I really enjoyed. And like I said, I feel like Arias chapters really redeemed it for me, and I did really enjoy those. So, I don't know. I don't know. And I love the cover. Like, whatever. I like the cover. I'm sorry. But anyway, please leave a comment down below, especially about the ending or whatever you have to say about this book, because I would love to hear it. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Please leave all the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinions on this book, or any opinions that you have about the bunny books, or the bunnies themselves. Who's your favorite character? I think y'all know who mine is, Arias and Jonah. I'm a Jonah stan for life. Who's your favorite bunny? Do you have a favorite bunny? I don't know who my favorite bunny is. Is it Coraline, who is the... she's wacky. But I have a soft spot for her. I do. I think I had the softest spot for her. But anyway, there's a lot to unpack there. Please leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care. Bye.